Are you a fan of the Alien franchise?
For the most part, I am. Yes.
Have you seen all of them?
If you include Alien versus Predator, I've seen probably 8 out of 9. No, I'm sorry. That's not including the new one coming out. 7 out of 9.
The only ones I've seen where all I see is 5 in relation to Aliens
Mhm.
is all the Sigourney Weaver ones,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's 4 of them,
4.
right? And then there's 2 Alien versus Predator 1 and 2.
I did see
So that's the only.
Prometheus, but I never saw Covenant, and I know Romulus is coming out.
I haven't seen Prometheus either, and that's a prequel to Alien.
True.
So I don't know. Maybe they answer some questions in Prometheus that there's some questions from seeing Alien. No,
If memory serves correct, they made more questions.
really?
And Covenant was supposed to be a sequel to Prometheus, if memory serves correct.
Hmm.
But I mean, we could talk about that a little bit later. Now, granted, I'm going by memory
Right.
from the maybe 1.5 times I watched Prometheus, but
Okay.
we'll talk about that.
By the time that this review comes out of Alien Romulus is out in the theaters, possibly killing it. I've not seen the review, so I don't know the scoring, what have you, on that aspect. But usually, what we do here in this case, that we look back at the movie that started it all,
The things that
Alien.
influenced our youth.
In this case here, 1979's Alien. You were not born yet,
Oh,
but I was. I was on the earth at that time with a Rotten Tomatoes score of today, 93% by the critics, 94% by the audience. And I have to be a little bit lower in this one.
I can guess why.
Let's get to it. Get away from her, you bitch!
Wrong one.
That's a sequel, I know. Welcome back to Tales of Two Bros. My name is Angel,
I'm a Don.
where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert, Alien. The movie, well, not necessarily say that launched Sigourney Weaver's career. That'd be more like Aliens, but this helped.
I mean, she had other roles prior to it, but they were like not as noteworthy. I would say this is like her, what's the term, breakout role?
Yes,
She was on Somerset. That was a
she was.
TV
She was
series
on
for like 6 years, 6 or 7 years.
she wasn't on a soap opera.
I don't know if Somerset it's summer with a O, so I don't know if it's a daytime drama. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a soap opera. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was General Hospital. I thought it was more like the mainstream ones.
No,
Definitely not Guiding Light.
mm-mm.
Now, directed by Ridley Scott, and I believe it was also written.
Writers are Dan O'Brien. Oh, I'm gonna say O'Brien. Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Susset.
And I haven't seen this movie in a long ass time. I watched Aliens a lot more than I watched this one.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, when I saw it, I was younger. It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah,
Watching it today, I found it more like a comedy
there are some
in
funny
so many
moments.
aspects.
I
Yes.
okay, so there's some funny moments, and I do know some of them, but there's also some moments in there like it's one of those movies that has been around so long that it's hard not to see scenes come through. So you
Hmm.
can kind of see some of the things happening. There was
What do you mean
one.
scenes come through?
It's like when you're watching a show and you're trying not to get a spoiler, but in
Hmm.
social media you always get at least one scene come in through your feed or something like that. It's like that. So it just comes in through the network of life.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The final scene when it comes out in the spaceship, when in the escape pod, when she sees it, it's hiding in the pipes.
What that is that really hiding? It's almost like it got stuck.
It was like
That's what it
just
looked like.
no, it
Yes.
just like it was nesting and sleeping. And the funny thing is, I knew it
Oh,
was there the
okay.
entire
Yeah.
time, but then the hand jumps up at her, and it made me jump. I'm like, God darn! I'm like, I saw it coming the entire time. I knew it was there, and it still made me jump. But that kind of leaves a tribute to like how they do the film. This film is more of a suspense horror than it is like like the ones that came afterwards, which were more action
Well,
suspense.
that's what I want to say. Like, well, this is action in a way, and this is sci-fi action,
Yeah.
sci-fi suspense, whatever. But this is what I liked about here. First of all, I like the cinematography. It was done very artistically, in the sense a lot of the shots, like when
Absolutely,
they're
Ridley
waking
Scott.
up,
Hmm.
the way they wake up is very peaceful, and I'm not sure if it's intentional or not.
Hmm.
But it shows you who's dying in order, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know they shows who dies first.
They definitely focused a lot of time on his character. They don't even show everybody waking up. They show him waking up, and then everybody else wakes up right after him.
They cut to the other bodies sleeping, but yes, he's the first one to wake up, and he's the first one to go.
Like foreshadowing.
Well, I'm going back to the part where you said that the hand came out and you got scared a little bit. You jumped.
I did jump.
The
Yeah.
thing that cracks me up, she jumped too and made noise, and it didn't do anything.
Oh, so that's why you thought it was stuck?
Yeah, I was like, maybe it's stuck. I was like, okay, because she made noise when she got startled,
True.
and the thing is very, receptive to noise and all that stuff because as a hunter, and I did think it was stuck because it was trying to get to her, and it's like, but it fell out really quick. But
So this is gonna be
but
funny.
we're jumping ahead.
No, well, this is gonna be the funny part about that moment too that came to my mind because again, I watch a lot of the franchise. I've read the comics galore that came afterwards in the series.
Right.
So
Didn't Superman fight Alien?
Yeah, like they
I know,
all did.
I know
Like
Batman versus Predator.
there was like
I know Alien
Superman versus
Superman.
Yeah, there was Aliens versus Superman and Batman, and then they also had like Justice League against them. There was other moments. I think they even like Terminator at one point.
Did you ever play the video games of Alien?
No, never had the joy of playing the video games. I have one actually downloaded. I never got around to it. It was Alien Isolation. And if I remember correctly, you talking on your mic or making noise will actually trigger it and it will find you by the sounds you make. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't do that one by myself. Even though these are like primal creatures, they're actually like very intelligent in a lot of ways. And they learn very quickly. So I just took it as like the alien figured out something's wrong with the ship. There's all this noise going around. We got a cat in a box and this lady's trying to get in here. Let me get in here where there's no sound. And then realizes the ship is going elsewhere. Maybe it figured out that she's a pilot and he's like, I can't kill her yet. And then my thought is like, after he scares her, he sees her go into the one room, like he just stays still real quick. Like that moment, like Drax in Guardians, like maybe if I stay very still, she'll think I'm not here. That was the thought that came to my mind afterwards.
I didn't see the head there, but if you watch it again, and I guess you would pay attention to it, or if not paying attention, if you're just aware, you probably stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah. Like the story, like the theory that the predator, what it represents, not the predator, but the alien, what it represents, and what the predator represents in the sense of like male and female organs.
I can get that like because I think the artistry was supposed to be like very sexualized.
Well, the head is very phallic.
Yeah.
The way it kills, like it does like a thrusting action with his head. Plus and with the predator,
inner jaw.
What does that stand for?
So the inner jaw comes out and extends out.
Right. Was that supposed to be like fat? Was that when the person
it adds to the fatness? No. Just like the extension.
Okay. But with the predator, when it opens his claws on the mouth itself looks very feminine.
Yes, I know.
If you catch my drift.
With teeth.
So I was just like, right. Well, the claws, yeah. I guess it's saying like, that's how women trap you. I don't know.
Mind you, that version of the Predator is so much better than the original version that they were going to do with Predator, the one that looked like
with Van Damme?
Yeah, like the lobster.
But let's get back to this. You have a lot of big name actors at the time. This is kind of like the Expendables of 1979 in the sense of actors, big names. Yeah, again, you have Tom Skerritt, we know him from Top Gun. Sigourney Weaver, we know her from here, the Alien franchise, from Ghostbusters.
Well, for her, she wasn't.
And she's also in. No, I understand, but she was known, but not like like we mentioned earlier. John Hurt, where we know him from? We know him from other things, a lot of things. But what's one role that he was in that we liked?
There are so many.
Hellboy, the first Hellboy.
I don't know why, but my mind was stuck on Doctor Who. But that was probably good because I went through a Doctor Who marathon not too long ago. So.
Was he on there?
Yeah, he's one of the doctors.
John Hurt is one of the doctors?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. He's nicknamed the War Doctor. He was like the forgotten doctor and came in for like 2 years. Did like 12 episodes.
Oh, Veronica Cartwright. I know her from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. She was in that movie with Donald Sutherland. Harry Dean Stanton. He's been in a lot of films, but he was also in one of the Avengers.
Yeah,
films
he played the security guard.
When the Hulk. Yes, exactly. And then you have Ian Holm. He played Ash, the android.
Yep.
And Yotep Koto. He was in. I think it was in.
Well, he also played in the Puppet Master movie.
Who did?
Yaphet Kotto.
Right, but I'm talking about like he was also in that Law. I think it was in Law and Order. One of those detective shows for a while. I think he was in one of those.
Maybe, yeah,
Unfortunately,
probably. But like the
but
Puppet Master movie is the one I remember him from because that was also co-starring
okay.
Donald Sutherland, and I was actually a fan growing up of
Um,
the Puppet Masters. Not
gotcha.
Puppet Master like
It's a horror film, horror franchise.
not that franchise. Puppet Masters with
Oh,
a S, the ones about invading aliens, taking over bodies. And they weren't replacing the bodies; they were like latching onto the spines and puppeteering the people. Yeah, that was a film with Donald Sutherland and Will Patton and Richard Belzer and Keith David. He was in it.
oh man, now I gotta watch that. Okay,
Yeah, same year.
Keith David.
Not same year.
Oh,
That
Keith David.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, dude. So he's in two other shows now, cartoons that I was like, you got to be kidding me. And right now I'm blanking out. Jesus Christ, I can't remember those shows. Who
Are you
were? He
talking about
just
the
came
recent
out
one
just
with
now.
Kite Man?
He's Dark Side,
He replaced the original voice for Darkseid from.
right? But no, but we're going off a tangent here. But Kite Man is like they replaced a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Lex Luthor's voice is by now the late Lance Reddick.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know,
right. I
it
did
was
recognize that. Yeah.
before it was Esposito,
Mm-hmm.
but he's in another one.
Hit Monkey. He played the devil in Hit Monkey season 2.
This guy gets to work
He
and
has such a
good
great
because
voice for voiceover work.
his voice, yes, yes. But let's get back to this. Was this the first time you seen this movie, or was it, or you seen it before?
I want to say I've seen it before, like back in the days before streaming. Like it came on TV, like HBO or something like that, and I watched it. This is like the first
Mm-hmm.
time I actively watched it in its entirety, like from start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
from the get go. No, I'm definitely confident I watched at least 70% of it because it's not a short film by any standard.
No, it's almost 2 hours.
But it feels longer, and I attribute that to the beginning of the film. So, like when I first
oh,
started watching it, I
I think I went
started
to go.
dozing off.
Got you. I think I was trying to mention earlier that this film did influence other films later to date,
Oh
like
yeah,
Predator
Species.
and Species. Well, let me know that's correct in the sense of Dust to Dawn. So this movie starts off more like a science fiction film,
Okay.
and then at a point it becomes a horror film.
Okay. Yeah.
So right in Dust to Dawn, it's like a chase thriller suspense film. Then it becomes a vampire film. Predator.
Yeah.
It starts off as like a military operation film, and it becomes a science fiction film.
Okay.
So you have two stories blending into one, or one story or genre going into another one, and that's what this one happened here. Sci-fi genre into horror genre. Well, Species like that? Did it jump from one movie genre into another?
It was definitely sci-fi and then turning more into like a horror aspect, but the visual design of the alien species creature in Species is very
Mm-hmm.
similar to like the xenomorph design and like the body fixations, more feminine, of course, but there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
similarities.
Okay. Oh, I got a Star Wars reference right there for you right now. Right now, I got a Star Wars reference.
Didn't even need the serving all that. Go ahead.
It's just it's simple. It's just nothing about like the hero, whatever, blah blah blah. It's just one thing. The communication headpiece they had,
Mm-hmm.
the headpiece they're wearing, it's the same headpiece that Luke and Han are wearing on the Millennium Falcon while they're shooting the TIE fighters.
Oh.
Yes. So I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what the heck? Because all this is very simple with a little tube going right to the mouth for the mic. And granted, this movie came out 2 years after Star Wars, so
Yeah.
maybe they had to borrow props. And the special effects was done here pretty good.
I
That's about
agree.
it.
Like
So
the
it's
special
not
effects
crazy.
for the sceneries and graphics of that actually, I think that still holds up pretty well.
Oh yes, I was trying to look. It's like, is this all practical? Especially when they see that the one where they come to that big alien on a. That's what I'm saying. Like Prometheus
Yeah.
has to have, or the movie after Prometheus, they explain because it looked like there was a battle going on that planet.
Yeah.
Because it looks like a body sitting on a chair that was shooting a cannon, and it had the thing on his face.
Kind
The face
of,
hugger
yeah.
was on his face.
So like Prometheus
And
made
it was a
those.
huge ass machine.
Yeah, they call them like the
Person
pilots,
being.
or they give them some other names. In Prometheus, they're smaller. So in this version, in original Aliens, those creatures are much larger. In Prometheus, they're only like 8 or 9 feet tall, not as big as you saw there. You're
I think it
right.
was huge. It was
They
like 20 feet in sitting on a recliner with a gun.
Yeah, I don't think that was
behind a
supposed to be
gun.
a gun. I think that was more supposed to be a piloting station. But
Oh,
they do have a moment where like one of the pilots or one of the creatures do get infected. There's heavy spoilers for other films. It does
mm,
get infected by like a giant size face hugger. Like it's a face hugger the size of a human body. Is just
right,
huge. And then an alien is
right.
birthed out from him like that. Something along those lines could have similarly happened here, but they don't answer this particular ship. It happens on a different ship.
Do you have a favorite character out of the multiples that we had here? Can't really say John Hurt because he was there like for.
Yeah, he did get outed pretty quick. Can I say Jones, the cat?
The
There was a time I forgot the
one
cat was
that
there, and then he shows up. I'm like, why we got a cat? And
I
I'm
was
like, the
like,
cat's the one that
it
gets
sheds,
everybody killed. It
it
hisses, it just
smells,
scratches
whatever.
people. It doesn't do anything to help anybody else. Even the alien doesn't want
Well,
to mess with the cat.
I
Uh,
liked Koto's character. He was pretty cool because he's all about the money. He said, "Hey, I'll do it if you pay me."
yeah, no, the dynamic between Kodo and
Staten.
I keep wanting to call him Brett and Parker. Um, so the dynamic between those two, they work very well together as a pair. And like the moment where they're smoking cigarettes, which by the way,
Oh, that thing.
highly granted, this was in a time where people thought it was okay to do. Don't smoke
Right.
cigarettes in a oxygen enriched environment. Not smart.
Don't smoke at all. Don't smoke. Don't light a light. Nothing. Don't
Yeah,
light a
yes,
candle. Nothing.
but
But yeah, I was watching that too. I was looking at that. I was like, this is the future. They got the future wrong because it's like smoking is prohibited everywhere. You can't even smoke on an airplane.
hey,
So you're smoking on
that
that
may not be
spaceship.
cigarettes. That may be like CBD, whatever. It's the new stuff.
Those are cigarettes. Those are cigarettes here. But the go on that too, like some of the food policies, because I mean, granted, the story moved along well.
Yeah,
You did not need to know about backstory. You didn't need to know about things get explained along the way, which is good in a sense of why they got woken up. It was planned all along. It was set in motion before they even left to do their mission. On the way back, they figured out that this cargo ship is going to cross paths with this alien ship or planet, what have you. So it was set in motion.
yeah.
They were duped. They were expendables, as I mentioned earlier
Oh yeah.
in that comparison.
You could
And
tell
it was
early
like,
on about Ash being
if you
like
paid attention,
Ash. Yeah, he had a shifty face.
well, like for me, since I knew that he was the bad guy,
Yeah, you knew what to look
besides
for.
the alien, once you know
You can't
that
unsee it.
what his purpose was, you can't unsee it in the sense if you watch it again because the signs are there. The way
Hmm.
he looks, the way he reacts, the way he disobeys protocol
True.
because he has another protocol. He has a higher protocol, not the ones that the crew knows. It's him, and that he find out that he was switched like days before the mission.
Because they knew in advance.
Right, and he was switched out from a human, meaning that prior the science engineer was a human. They put in an android
Yeah.
here or robot, as they called it here, because they didn't call them androids back then. They called them robot.
I didn't understand like he started glitching before he got like hit in the head. Or
Right,
it may have been
he
like
was
when she threw him against the wall in the room. Maybe that was
right,
the
like the
moment.
back of the head, maybe.
Although he
But
started
right, but the
bleeding
thing
from
is, the right, it was sort of like it was blood or sweat that he was able to. But yeah, it made no sense that he was bleeding on the top of his head when the back of his head
would have been
hit the
injured.
wall.
Yeah. Oh my! I should
Right.
clarify this. Did you watch the director's cut or the theatrical cut too?
I just watched on Hulu,
Oh, I watched the theatrical
so
cut.
whatever that was.
Okay, I'll
So
have
I think
something to
that's the
say about
theatrical
that.
cut.
Yeah.
But the director's cut is only 1 minute difference.
No,
So I don't know what they did.
We are jumping around on this. The audio for them talking sometimes didn't feel like it sit right, or it felt like they was
Oh
stuffed
yes,
over.
I caught that. I think I caught that with him, Ash, and her. I think talking in the mother room.
That confused me when I watched that. Him freaking out. Like I get him trying to kill her. That was a creepy moment when he's like, "Well, it's a very simple explanation for this." When he showed up on her shoulder,
He snuck in. Yeah, I mean, she didn't hear the door open because the door closed.
yeah,
And he's right there.
it's like just head right next to her, and she just. I would freak out too. I'm like, dude.
For me personally, I would have had a different
Reaction.
No,
Okay.
no, I would have freaked out too. But the shot where, like, say she backs up into her chair, because everything's going to shit. That she's just being told on the screen
You're
what
expendable.
the primary functions are, and
Yeah.
that they're expendable. And she leans back, and then it would have been cool, like a close-up shot of his mouth coming to her ear, saying, "This all could be explained easily." That shot,
Way
I
to
would
make
have,
it even more
holy crap,
creepy.
yeah, exactly. But she didn't. I'm saying, like, she didn't hear him enter the room. But also, I'm jumping again. We are jumping around. It felt like a little bit of 2001: Space Odyssey, where the ship is waking up from hibernation, and is like the computers are the codes are showing, and is showing on the helmet, kind of like where the computer
Yeah.
in 2001 is like waking up to. But anyway,
Hi, Al.
right. But here is the High Nomatros was the ship's name, and there's
I
probably a
guess.
significance of the name of the ship. Can you look that up? Now the food pause, like there are some really good stuff, but like some of the food pause, like I noticed, like again, this is the future, but they have some stuff that is still like dated, like the coffee cups you get at the cafeteria
The paper coffee
or
cups.
the airport back in the day.
Yeah, the paper
What was
coffee
that?
cups.
No, they weren't paper. They were like plastic, but there's like the one that you stack up because it's like the bottom is like a little narrower. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
they're like you find them like I said. And then like when Dallas is walking to talk to Mother, he's wearing sneakers. But the way that they do the Foley work, which is the sound effects of action or footwork, what have you, makes him sound like he's wearing cowboy boots. Something I noticed, like, why is it loud, walking so loud, wearing sneakers? Some of the some of the jump scares was not when I was younger. It scared me. When I saw it, it made me laugh. Is when Dallas meets the alien,
And the alien goes,
and
ha!
ah,
That is a kind of funny moment seeing the alien just go, ha! And they put the loud music on. I imagine, like, back in the day, that was a
but
very terrifying moment. Looking on
right,
it
of
on your
course, because you're seeing it for the first time in his almost like in his entirety.
Mhm.
That's when you really see it. Because before, like you see is the mouth or some other things that just part of it. But here, like he goes, "Ha ha, gotcha, bitch," and it just stays a little too long. Like it would have been better,
Yeah,
I think, if yes, he comes out with the arms, but the thing is, he runs towards Dallas instead of
yeah,
just shooting out his arms. He motions forward like off camera. That would probably been a better shot. But of
true.
course, probably not think about that.
You
You
know,
know what I'm saying?
I think
Did you get
there was
get the
also
reason for the name of
limitation.
the?
Well, I think there was like also limitations to the suit at the time. So there's not a real
Yeah,
reason
yeah, yeah.
listed as to why it was named a Nostromo. There's a lot of theories about it. Apparently,
Oh,
Nostromo means shipmate in Italian, which could also tie into like the ship is also part of the crew because this is a character in itself in
mm.
the movie. There is
or
also a book
or.
called the
But I'm
Nostromo.
saying before you go that the alien could be the shipmate. He could be the stowaway.
Yeah,
Just be a ship. He's
that was
part of the.
also one thing that was referred to, where it's referring to Nostromo's xenomorph is a stowaway of the ship. So that like, that could
Okay.
be, yeah. But there is a book that came
Okay.
out in 1904 called The Nostromo: A Tale of a Seaboard, and it's a fictitious story. There's probably some inspiration there somewhere down the line that would have prompted for
Gotcha.
that. It sounds like a good name
Right. And for those who are watching or listening, please, if you know, let us know in the comments below here. Do you have any food balls, or do you find any food balls besides the one that
for the
you
audio.
saw the
Besides
head
that,
and the audio?
yeah, I thought it was a faux pas when they first saw the eggs and the liquid was going up. Just
Oh, you saw that too, right?
yes, I did read this. That was actually intentional. Ridley Scott was doing like it looked like the camera was upside down and the liquid was going up, but no, that was an
Mhm.
intentional look that he was going for the film. I don't know why.
Right.
All I know is it's intentional. I do
I
know that
noticed
like
that too. And I was like, whoa, that's weird.
the weather
Maybe
and
gravity. I don't know.
it could well, I also thought like maybe it had to do with that field mist. He said it's kind of like a different environment down there over here. So it may be like keeping its own kind of field. So like if you're watching the weather on the outside, like it looks like high winds and so forth like that, but then like the steam and some of the environments don't match with the weather environments that are depicted. So it just didn't kind of
Well,
mesh.
well, before Staten gets killed,
Yeah.
he gets stabbed in the face. He's getting rained on.
Where's the water coming from?
Yeah, they're in space.
I have no
Where is the
idea.
rain coming from?
Well, it's
I was
not.
looking. I was like, wait a minute. It's like
I didn't think it was rain.
I
I
mean,
just thought it was like maybe there's a leak pipe or there's a lot of
but
condensation somewhere. But
okay, but I'm considering it rain because it's dripping on him.
yeah.
And the whole time I got tense, the whole time because he sits there going like this and getting the water
Oh, did you think it
sprayed
was
on
gonna be like
him.
the spit or something like that?
No, no, I thought it was gonna come right behind him because it was in a like it was kind of like a corner shot. Let me see if I can do the camera here.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like it was like here on this side,
Was it
and
just
then
dark?
right
Yeah.
behind, like it was just dark. I thought it was gonna come out of the shadows. I was like,
I
oh, that'd be
did
so cool,
I did think that
and did
too.
not.
I also thought that it was gonna come from above, like that he's laying the
Didn't
water
it?
wash. It did, but not in the scene after that. So when he's getting the wash
Mm.
of the water, I thought that was getting like at one point just stopping water and turn into like drool or something, and then he was gonna be like just
Also,
looking
too,
up.
what the heck is this? It
Yeah.
would have been better too because it's right above you. It's right. No, that kind of thing. Even though it
Yeah.
was above him, but now the last two deaths
Oh,
of Koto and
wait. Before you get to that,
yeah,
she
yeah.
threw that cat.
What do you mean she threw that cat?
When she was escaping back into the pod and the cat was in the crate, right?
Oh yeah, she threw the
She
crate.
threw the crate, and I don't mean like she just like tossed it. It was yeeted, and that crate went boop 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 boop, and I died. It's a very little faux pas, but I died laughing because I'm like, that cat
What you don't think
has to
like
be
the
disoriented.
or not just that the cat's like screw you, I don't want to be with you. You know,
Exactly. It's like I've been surviving better on my own.
so the death scenes of that girl, she was a pain in the ass. She was annoyed. She was like,
Oh, Lambert, the screamer.
run. I can't run. No, I'm not going to run. It's like, run. And she just stands there and the tail. Now, granted, I'm not sure if how did you see it? Did you watch it on Hulu too?
For this one, I was like, I'm not going to watch it with commercials. So I paid $3.
Okay. So now it seemed like some of the death scenes were real quick, meaning like with her, like you get the idea like the tail's coming behind her, like to
Yeah.
stab her. Did they show that?
No, they don't. In other
And
movies, the tail is used as a weapon to stab others.
right, yeah. And Koto, he like it just looks like the Koto, like they're fighting and he's already bleeding. I'm like, but where did he get hit?
I think he got hit in the gut because
Right,
I
but
think
when?
I
Like
think it
it
lifted
happened
him
so
up off
fast.
the air in the air. Because remember, he didn't use the flamethrower because Lambert.
She was in the way.
So he dropped
Right.
the flamethrower and he tries to tackle the thing. Not a genius move. And it turned into like
Right.
that scene from Predator where he just turned around, grabbed him, lifted him off the ground.
Right.
And he was
Right.
at an angle where arguably he could have hit it with the flamethrower without hitting her. He came at it from the
Right.
side, like the back side. He didn't have
Right.
a straight on shot with her. I would have took the shot.
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't, push for the story in that aspect. But also, like the other faux pas. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to say one more thing, especially around that moment. So between Parker and Lambert trying to get I guess they were like oxygen cells or battery cells. I think they were battery cells.
Mm-hmm.
They like for trying to sneak off a ship that you're
They're
about
so
to.
loud.
They were the loudest because there was a moment where Ripley's on the other side of the ship without the intercom
And can
on,
hear them.
and you could still hear them. Ding 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 ding. I'm like, oh my god!
Right.
Like if you're not ringing the dinner
Right. No,
bell, I don't know what you're doing.
You're absolutely right. Yes, if you know that someone's hunting you or something is hunting you, you do not make yourself known.
Yeah,
That's a given. That should be a given. And these motherfuckers they're walking on broken glass. Now, am I wrong that Ripley, that she put on the self-destruction button?
Yeah.
Right? She set it all up. And then she almost runs into the alien. And then she runs back
to turn
off the self-destruction. And it didn't work because she was like too late. And she left the cat there.
Yes.
Like the cat wouldn't listen. I would not be friends with her if I was the cat. You left the cat right in front of the alien to be like as bait.
Even the alien looked
at it.
And then
she threw it.
The alien looked at it like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" But yeah, she did. I mean, granted, the alien was in the way that it was in the tunnel.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
But yeah,
I'm just saying she went all the way back to turn off the self-destruction button. I was like, bitch, you put it on. Find a way to get out. Now, for me with characters, I actually like Ash the way he was done until like to the back because he was I mean, guy's a great actor. But seeing it again, and you see how, like, you can see his intention and how that's working. And then to see him talk with his head decapitated, that was a great special effect.
Yeah.
Granted, I saw what they were doing, and they did a little quick cut to look with a fake head, and then they put the head back, the real head there. Still gross as all hell, even though that's like fake, this white blood, whatever. And then
Like
you see what's coming out of the body a little bit. It's just still gross, and it's coming out of his mouth a little bit.
Which I was like wondering,
his
like, how is it coming out of his mouth if there's nothing pumping?
Right. But still cool. But his performance as a killer robot, if you will, was done very well. Granted, yes, it made no sense of how he bleeds so easily or how he breaks apart so easily.
Yeah.
From what I know from in Prometheus, there's another guy or character that's similar to him. Like that guy is a prototype of what Ash is going to be.
Yes.
From what I know. I mean, granted, I never saw it.
But
I think it's from Michael Fassbender, Magneto. But it was cool though that he's trying to. I don't know why. Why would he do that? I don't know why he would roll up a paper thing when he could just simply like crush her head or grab her throat.
I figured it was one of two things. It's like he's glitching, but he's still trying to accomplish his goal, and he's like, suffocate her. So like shove a magazine down her throat.
But he could have suffocated her with his hand.
I thought he was going to do that first and then grab the magazine.
And the thing is, okay, she got herself knocked out a little bit from him tossing her around. She wakes up as soon as that rolled up magazine is about to hit her face, her mouth.
Yeah.
And she just stays there. She's not strapped in.
I think he was holding her head down with the other hand.
No, because remember, Koto, and I'm sorry because I can't remember the character's name, but Koto comes in and he's trying to pull her off, and then Ash reaches over and tries to like pull his fingers through his chest.
I was laughing about that because in my mind I'm like,
it's like a titty twister.
He's giving like a purple norple or something like that.
Yeah, titty twister.
He just twists. He's like, ah.
Right. I was like, dude, back up. You can back up. That's what cracks me up. The guy's arm, his right arm, for example, is pushing down the rolled up magazine into her.
Yeah, that's true.
He's using the left hand to go across, and the guy's like, I was like, dude, just let go of the guy and back up a little bit. He would not be holding you. That's how simple it would be. Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, all she had to do was wake up and like turn her head or use her hand to push the magazine out and turn her head. It was like, I just find that kind of funny. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm a little concussed, but I'm going to survive if someone's going to put a rolled up magazine down my throat, which is just, my mouth is closed.
Yeah.
My hands are free.
In hindsight,
that's where the comedy comes in.
His character is essential for the entirety of the movie. Ash's character.
Oh, of course.
Like, getting the alien on board, like Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley, was making the judgment call early on. Quarantine. We got a guy out there who's infected, like with something that's attached to him. We can't let him on. They're like, well, he's going to die. Right. That's not my call.
She's following by the rules. And you have Ash also following by the rules, but by two different entities, if you will.
Yeah. And normally they kind of insinuate that Ash is like the rules. He's a science officer, but he's also the rules guy. He can quote anything from, like the guidelines and terms. He does it multiple times. And then now he breaks the rule.
Well, he broke the rule a couple times, but he's not really breaking the rule because he has a primary objective.
Oh, I mean, we know that
objective is to grab this. Right. But he's breaking it because the thing is, like, if Dallas is not on board, she's in charge.
Yeah.
She made that clear. And he says, yes, I know that. But you broke the rules. Like, oh, I did? I was fine. Because for an android, he's sentient in a way.
He's very sentient.
And that he's like, oh, he's playing both sides of the coin in that aspect. You're right. But you have, in a sense, like, well, he's on board. Technically, he's on board. So he's the captain again.
Even before that moment where she's like, this is actually translating to a warning. I should go out there. And he's like, by the time you get out to them, they'll know it. I'm like, that doesn't sound like the fruitful decision to make. They'll know it's a warning by the time I get out there. That means shit just hit the fan.
Right. That was a warning in itself.
Exactly. In that case, Ripley messed up. Ripley should have gone. She's like, you're
exactly.
Right.
So again, when you watch this movie again and again, and you know who the bad guy is, the antagonist, besides the
xenomorph,
it's all there. It's just out in the open. It's just letting you know, but you don't know until the head breaks off.
Yeah.
Or you don't know until Not necessarily so. You don't know until Mother speaks to Ripley of the true objective. That's where the shit hits the fan.
Which, by the way, do you know
But
who
was
plays
great.
Mother?
Yes, I did see it.
Helen Horton.
Don't know who she is.
She played on a number of stuff.
What was she in?
She was like in the
Okay.
Benny Hill show. She was in like Superman 3.
Benny Hill?
Yeah, she was.
Superman 3?
Yeah, she was in Superman 3.
Superman 3.
She played
with Richard Pryor.
Yeah, with Richard Pryor. She played Miss Henderson. The film that everybody forgets, Superman 3.
Well, I don't forget it. I just remember her in that one, but that's to another time. So the ending of this, it makes total sense for Aliens. Total sense. Aliens is what made Sigourney Weaver labeled as an action star. And it really skyrocketed to stardom. Now, going to Rotten Tomatoes, 93% by the critics, 94% by the audience. After seeing it again and seeing a lot of faux pas and seeing some of it not as a horror, but more of a comedy now, I am gonna give it around like 85 because it kind of missed the mark as being a horror. You know, it is a thriller, but it's not as scary as it originally was. So mine is 85. What about you?
I'm more generous, but I was thinking around 87. I know people that
ain't that much generous.
I know people that would actually probably, if it's like their first time, because you also got to think about like this generation of people probably don't usually watch movies this old. I work with plenty of people younger than me that like, oh, have you heard of this movie? And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, you didn't.
If you're gonna see Alien Romulus, you should see the movie that started it all. Because like it or not,
I think it holds up fairly decently though.
No, yes, it does. But like it or not, the movie franchise is successful.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's made. You have comic books, you have novelization, graphic novels, you have video games, as I mentioned, so many sequels and spin-offs.
Yep.
I think video game too. I could be mistaken, but I'm not sure.
No, you're right. Also a video game.
Alien versus Predator?
Yeah, they did a video game too.
Oh, okay. Those two, Predator and Alien, is very lucrative. Now, am I going to see Alien Romulus? Maybe. Are we going to do a review on it? No. Are you going to see Alien Romulus?
Debating about it, but I agree with the review. I think we, at least for now, should focus on the things that really, the classics and what made these movies that, because honestly, a lot of these movies that are coming out nowadays are just remakes or sequels, not too many originals.
Yeah.
And it's actually very interesting to look back on the things that formed those franchises and us.
Now, I think Alien Romulus is going to make money. It's going to make bank. I think so.
To be fair,
I gotta watch the other sequels.
I mean, I would definitely say like Aliens is a must. You know, if you're gonna watch the sequels, it's always been number one in my book, and I'm probably watching this made me want to rewatch Aliens. I haven't done it yet.
Right,
I want to.
And it's also directed by who?
I wanted to say John
James
Carpenter.
Cameron.
That's wrong. It's James Cameron. Both start with
There's
J.
Another guy, but yes, James Cameron directed Aliens. He made it an action thriller. It is such a damn good ride, from what I remember, and great characters and one-liners as well, especially with who?
Oh,
Bill Paxton.
Yeah, he had some of the best lines.
He did.
Fun fact, or I think this is a fact. It's probably more of a rumor. Did you know how James Cameron pitched Aliens?
Yeah, he added an S.
Yeah,
he wrote down.
He literally walked in, didn't say a thing.
S.
Yeah. Which is the most baller thing. It's like, alien, ready on the board. Look at the people, put an S. Look at the people again, put 2 lines for the $. Put it down. And he's like,
is this worth the watch?
I think so. Yeah.
Is it worth the own?
Considering the movie is almost 50 years old now. Yeah.
It should be an anniversary coming out, an anniversary edition.
Yeah.
coming out.
I mean,
I would love
for a film that old. That's actually really good.
No, yeah, it's done very well. Like I said, the way it's shot is very done well. Oh, we didn't. You know what? We forgot to mention our favorite moment.
What's yours?
The death of John Hurt.
Very iconic.
The chest explosion.
Yeah,
it's very iconic. They used it very much time in parodies and doing jokes. Spaceballs. I think Family Guy did something like that. So, you know, like. All this stuff, they've done it, that iconic scene, because it's great. Granted, you watch it again, you know it's going to happen because Ash is looking. He's watching for a response. You see that. And I think, I could be mistaken, I think none of the crew knew about that, the actors.
I would believe
John knew about it. John Hurt knew about it. I think Ash knew about it, whatever.
Because Lambert's scream seemed very genuine.
I could be right or wrong. But that's a great iconic scene. And that's what flipped the switch from a regular sci-fi to a horror.
Yeah.
Because it comes out of the chest, is like looking around, it screams with silver teeth, and then it skittles across the table, which is kind of funny. That's kind of funny too.
Yeah.
The way it skittles off the table is kind of funny as well.
It doesn't even skittle.
So,
it just
again,
like slides at a very high power speed, like just
right. But it's still funny. It's like I'm out of here. Almost like Speedy Gonzalez. First time seeing it, no. But you see it again, yes, it becomes a very comedic. For you, is that the same?
We kind of talked about it. Like also with Ash, it was the scene where he gets outed as an android, and then like everything goes haywire from there. For some reason, I got a kick out of that scene, going from the computer pod sneaking up on her shoulder to the attack, and then the talking.
So you like the sequence of Ash being exposed?
Yes,
that is a good scene.
Yeah,
because again, he's not acting robotic. He's acting very human. But yeah,
and you're right. Like this movie inspired so much. Like I remember Lily Cat, the anime, the old school OVA anime.
Oh, okay. I think I have that.
You do have that. At least on VHS. But I actually remember the first time I watched Lily Cat was from your VHS collection.
Well, I don't have VHS anymore, but okay.
Oh, well, you did at one point. Basically, if you took The Thing and you took Alien and merged them together, and instead of the android being like a human, it was the cat. So they had like two cats on the ship, but no one knew it was an identical cat and it was an android. And that was actually went to grab the virus and the creature and bring it aboard.
Maybe that was like the influence for that anime. Alien was that influence for. That's like, hey guys,
I definitely suspect that because
let's do this. Let's have an alien, but instead of humans, it's the cat.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all because Lily Cat.
Are you looking that up?
I'm double checking it right now because Lily Cat came out in 1987. This came out in 1979. And then The Thing came out.
I want to say 1982.
I was going to say 1984. Let's see who's right.
A few moments later.
No. Damn, no, you're right.
82?
And I watched that movie. 82? I guarantee I watched that movie way more than you have.
Oh, I watched it like once because it scared the crap out of me.
And the fact that you got that pisses me off a little bit. And I love The Thing.
Guess who is in it as well besides Kurt Russell?
Oh, Keith David?
Keith David.
I thought you were about to say
this
John
guy
Carpenter.
has been. Is John Carpenter in it?
It's a John Carpenter film. Joke about James Cameron for Aliens.
I don't know. We should probably like dedicate like a year of Keith David films because this guy, he's been in everything we love.
Gargoyles.
Everything we love. They Live.
Yeah.
Something About Mary. Like, even a small role, he's in the movies
like
that we
one
we
movie a month shows. For Keith David or something like that. There is a lot.
Yes. All right, guys. That is our throwback review of Alien. Have you seen it? What was your favorite moment? Who is your favorite character? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adon.
Love you, bro.
Love you too.